Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to Tom's Corner, where you can hear the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. Topic lesson today may be something that you've never read before in your life, and if you haven't, it's going to be very interesting today. Here we go. Is there a portal the angels go through to get here on the earth? Okay? Are you ready for it? But before we go into that, let's go this route. A lot of people think in their minds that the angels of the Lord could come anytime they want, like popcorn, all over the world and so forth and so on. But I have news for you. There are what I consider portals or openings that you and I, our visual human abilities, cannot see. I'm going to get into some here, and I'm going to prove it to you. But I also believe something else that comes along with this. If you'll notice, they talk about out west, the Indians always refer to mysterious places that they consider holy places. And they are more or less stating that supernatural things happen in those areas. Okay? This is a Indian folklore, as some would say. It goes back centuries and centuries. And these Indians verify that or certify that by things that they tell you. And to a degree, what I'm going to bring to you today is going to open your eyes. Now you got to understand. Bible said that God is a law unto himself. Is that true? Well, see, you don't know. You don't read the Bible. You don't know. But it's true. It's in the Bible. Now, if so, things are set up by law and designated how things work. And I believe, again, myself believe that there are portals or openings, different places in the world. And when the angels ascend and descend and go back up, they have to go through these specific openings or places. Okay? Let's go on. Let's go into our lesson. Here we go. Genesis chapter 28, verse 10 states this: And Jacob went out from Beersheba and went towards Haran. 11. And he lighted upon a certain place and tarried there all night, because the sun was set. And he took of the stones of that place and it put them for his pillows, and he lay down in that place to sleep. Okay, now 12. And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up on the earth. Set up. He knew what a ladder was, and he knew how that they had rungs on it. And in a dream, this ladder was set up. Let's go on. And the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of God ascending and descending. Now look at this. Going up, coming down, going up, coming down. That was the ladder described in his dream. Probably didn't have the knowledge to figure out that, hey, what we do with an elevator, what do? Push the button, we go up, and we go down, okay? Now you got it that far. Let's go on. And Jacob awoke him out of his sleep, and this is 16, out of his sleep, and he said, Surely the Lord is in this place. And I knew it not. I didn't know this was God's place. 17, and he was afraid, and he said, How dreadful is this place? More or less, wow, this is mighty. How dreadful is this place? This is none other but the house of God. And this is the gate of heaven, the opening of heaven, the gate of heaven. A sci-fi movie years ago. One of the best. I like sci-fi, and one of the best sci-fi movies I saw Stargate. Okay, in fact, today Trump announced and had three men come forth here, weeks ago, and they are in developing artificial intelligence, and they refer to it as Stargate. Think about that, Stargate. In other words, what they're planning on doing, whether you realize this or not, by using that specific name, and not only are they IE or artificial intelligence, I believe, this is my assumption, when they named it Stargate, they're looking for an opening. They're looking for an opening through our dimension. Now, it may sound crazy, but I'll tell you something. CERNs, if any one of you are educated enough to read about CERNs, the collider, one molecule, I believe it is, against another, Big Bang, okay? They're looking for an opening. They're trying to open up a dimension. And in that dimension, they're causing havoc on the earth because supernatural beings are coming through that opening. All right, let's go on. And he was afraid and said, how dreadful is this place? This is none other but the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven. Now, in 19 it states, and he called the name of this place Bethel. Okay? Bethel. You've heard that name before. But the name of that city was called Luz, L-U-Z, at the first. Now, Genesis chapter 10, verse 8 says this, and Cush begot Nimrod. Okay, I've changed topics now. I'm in a different place. And Cush begat Nimrod, and he began to be a mighty one in the earth. Now, this is after the flood. Remember that. This is after the flood. Okay. And 10. And the beginning of his kingdom was Babel. And every one of you is yes, you've heard of Babel. And in Genesis chapter 11, verse 1, states this. And the whole earth was of one language and what? Of one speech. Okay? Now, here we go. In 2, this is it. And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain, level area, nice big level area of land, of Shinar, or Shinar. And they dwelt there. Now in 3 it states, and they said one to another, go, let us make brick, and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar. Now you got to understand, what are they talking about here? They were firing up brick. In other words, we know how it's made. We take a clay substance, we pack it together in a form, we place it in a furnace, high heat, it bakes it hard as a rock, okay? This is what they used in their construction back then, and reference, I don't know what slime is, but I know it has it could be a sand substance. Don't know. Maybe some of you out there might want to comment. And they use that for mortar, okay? Like we use mortar today. We mixture a compound of cement and so forth with a mortar and sand, don't we? And water. And we mix it up, get it to the right consistency. We put bricks up. And you see structures that run 30 stories in the air, brick-faced, okay? Now, number 4, and they said, go to and let us build us a city. And remember this part, and a tower whose top may reach unto heaven. I mean, they were going for it. They wanted to reach the top of heaven. Now, I'm going to stop right here and interject a little something. What's the purpose of that tower? that would interject to go right up to heaven? Huh? Think about this. Up to heaven. It's easy. I'm assuming that they knew where one of the portals were, ascending and descending. And they decided they were going to build a structure that they could go right on up and go through that portal into where? Into heaven. And this is the primary goal and desire that Satan has, that he can dominate heaven. Remember now, he was cast to the earth, wasn't he? Okay. At periodic time, he's allowed to go before God, and then he's accuser of their brother. Remember? What did he do with Job? Oh, yeah. He was accusing Job of a lot of things, okay? So at times, he's allowed to do that before God. But I don't believe he's there anymore. I believe he's been kicked out. He's down here on the earth. He's running havoc on man. And what's he trying to do? Same old stuff he tried to do before. Build that tower. Why did he do that? Right after the flood, through this one man leadership, they all spoke the same language. Why did they do that? Man, they could have built homes here, there. Look at all the homes they could have had. But no, they wanted one up to God's heaven and go through the barrier, okay? Let's go on. Now, and the Lord came down to see the city and the tower, which children of men builded. In 6 it says, and the Lord said, behold, the people is one, and they have all one language. And this they began to do. Talking about the city. This they began doing, building that structure, that tower. And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. In other words, they were with one mind and one accord. And then hold on now, I'm going to show you something. And they had the ability now to do whatever they imagined to do. Now let's come to today's time. Do we not speak basically one language now? Sure we do. How? Put the little plug in your ear. The guy's talking to French, German, or whatever you got, Italian. You're listening to the interpreter. You know exactly what he says. Same thing that. If you're watching a movie on Netflix, punch down on the bottom, find out what language it's in, tap. You're listening to that movie, maybe not in English, but now if you're Spanish, you're listening to it in Spanish, right? Now, what's happening to us today? What's our goals today? Our primary goal. Now think, put on your dunce hat. We are trying to ascend where? Up into heaven. Oh yeah, think about it. One language, we're doing that today. Money's no object. We band together, one mind, one accord. What do you see? You see Russia. You see India now, America, French, all are doing what? They're even Japan and who else? China. Oh yeah, what are they doing? All one mind, one accord, one language, going. They're building up. In other words, they're trying to reach what we call the outer limits. Remember the movie Outer Limits? Well, this is what they're trying to do, is go up into the heavenlies and reach that portal to ascend into God's realm. And the thing I'm saying is, before that ever happens, God will do this to it. He'll kill that out. They'll never reach it. Okay? Now, let's go on. Daniel, we're in another place now. Daniel 9:21. The angel of God came to Daniel. His name was Gabriel. Daniel 10:13. It states the prince of the kingdom of Prussia, which was a fallen angel, fought and held Gabriel 21 days. I bet you never heard of that. Most of you never even dreamed of that. But what? Held an angel for 21 days? Yeah. Okay, now get this. In other words, he was held 21 days with other fallen angels which ruled over Persia. Now, Michael, everybody's heard the name Michael, the angel, one of the chief angels had to come and help free him. In verse 20, Gabriel said now he would have to go back the same ways and have to fight the prince of Persia again. Okay? Now also remember, Gabriel told Daniel, God heard you the first time that you prayed. Okay? That is 21 days ago. Heard you the first day. Now, you see what I'm stating? I'm giving you a statement. I gave you places, and I'm sure there's other places on this earth that there is a place, a portal, where the angels can descend and ascend. Okay? Now, read your Bible. Find out for yourself. Yes or no. God bless. I'll see you the next trip.